Economics has a reputation for being an impenetrable wall of complicated math, stock market ticker noise, and dry formulas. In our daily lives, we usually skip the math. Instead, we evaluate major decisions and government policies by looking almost exclusively at their intentions. We judge a choice by what it is supposed to do. A school announces free pizza for all students so no one goes hungry. A city caps the price of rent so working families can afford apartments. But watch what actually happens. People who usually bring sandwiches suddenly grab 3 slices of free pizza, and the food vanishes in minutes. Meanwhile, because the rent is heavily capped, developers stop building new housing, and landlords stop maintaining their properties. You end up with dozens of families fighting over a single crumbling apartment. The economist Thomas Sowell argued that to understand how the world operates, you have to ignore what a policy intends to accomplish. Instead, you must look at the hidden incentives it creates. This dynamic governs national policy, and it governs the cash sitting in your wallet right now. Let's trace a decision path. You have $50,000. You buy a luxury car, and that path ends there. Or follow a second timeline. Buy a reliable car and invest the rest, letting it compound. The exact same mechanism applies to your time. Spend hours scrolling social media, and those resources dissolve instead of stacking up. The true cost of a purchase or a habit is the future opportunity you forfeited to get it. Understanding trade-offs shifts your perspective. Stop asking, "Can I afford this?" and start asking, "What alternate timeline am I killing?" Moving from your wallet to the wider economy, people often assume that prices and wages are arbitrary numbers decided by corporate boards. Look at this network map. Prices act as a decentralized communication network. If a sudden freeze wipes out a strawberry crop, the price spikes. That higher price is a data transmission that pulses out. Without anyone sending orders, consumers see the price and shrink intake, while farmers see the signal and route resources to plant more. Your paycheck operates on that very same network. A wage signals the scarcity of your specific skills in the market. It has no correlation with your worth as a human being. You can be an incredibly valuable human being, yet work a job the market pays very little for, simply because those skills are common. Money is an information system. It coordinates human behavior and shifts resources to where they are most needed, entirely without a central command. Problems arise when a government tries to force a good intention onto this network by creating artificial prices. This graph shows how an artificial cap breaks the system. Forcing the price artificially low sends a mutated signal telling suppliers to stop producing and consumers to hoard. That red gap represents an empty shelf, a shortage. If a government guarantees a price above market level, the mechanism reverses. The false signal tricks producers into creating massive surpluses that rot. This is also why business failures are vital to a healthy economy. When a company loses money, it is painful, but it provides essential negative feedback. A financial loss instructs society to immediately stop wasting precious labor and raw materials on something that nobody actually values. You cannot legislate away the laws of supply and demand. When you ignore negative feedback and distort price signals, you end up creating the exact catastrophes those policies intended to prevent. You can put away the abstract charts and the complex math. These mechanisms are already operating inside every grocery aisle, every office, and every rental contract you encounter. Once you recognize how incentives drive behavior, you develop a natural immunity to surface-level promises, whether they come from politicians, from corporate bosses, or targeted advertisements. Whenever a new policy is announced, or you are about to make a major purchase, bypass the intended goal. Let your default reaction be a single question: what happens next? Economics won't automatically make you rich. It is a framework for identifying invisible trade-offs and understanding how human behavior shifts when incentives change. Mastering that framework means realizing that asking the right question about second-order effects is infinitely more valuable than falling